Star Trek theorem, what you're looking out for is two, and we call them radii, but they are basically two radiuses. So here's one and here's the other. And they don't have to be there, they can be absolutely anywhere, but generally the most common position is like they are now. Right, the next bit you're looking for is do the ends of your radiuses or radii join to another point. So I'm going to put a point here and do the same. So I'm going to join this one to it, and there we go. Right, and you have to notice something between the angle here at the circumference and the angle between your two radii at the center. So I'm going to measure them. Right, I've clicked that in the wrong order, so just undo. Control Z will be the quickest way to do that, and do it in the correct order. I'm just going to drag that number out so we can see it a little bit better, which is 55 degrees, and do exactly the same here. Silly me, done it the wrong way again. You're going to do that a lot when you're making these, and the problem is I've rounded all of these numbers to 0 decimal places. So when I have an odd number, I should have a decimal here for this rule. So I'm just going to make that an even number, so 110, and you should be able to spot that the angle at the center, this one here, is double the angle at the circumference. And that actually works if I drag this point all the way around the circle. And if I change this angle in the center, just make sure it's even. Just make sure you can see that. So that is 64, half of the angle at the center. The interesting bit, and the bit they catch you out with this theorem, is if they drag this point underneath and you get this shape. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure the other angles now. So again, as before, we've now got the angles at the circumference and the angle on the other side of the center. And it's the same thing. This one is half of the angle at the center. And if I drag that, it stays the same. If I change the angle at the center, make sure it's even again, 120. So they will try and confuse you with this Star Trek theorem. If it's at the top in the normal Star Trek, there it is. If they drag it on the bottom, this time we're looking at those red angles, it obeys exactly the same rule. And if you're ever struggling to remember it, the reason I call it the Star Trek is because that is exactly what the Star Trek badge looked like in the movies. So I hope that helps and you understand this theorem.